go for the 100th time. Engine scream, burning rubber, no rewind. Joker series chaos in the night, lights glow. Pedal to the metal, let the madness flow. Crash and burn, spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Gonna learn me, last control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Oh, Joker series, burn it down. Gotta burn it up. In the Joker series, burn it.
Race underway. The very first Joker series. And I don't think anything like this has been done in Gran Turismo that's been at least broadcasted, so.
Engines roar, the night ignites. Speeding through the neon lights, salamanders call. We hear the sound, the Joker series, it's going down. Twist the wheel, feel the flame. Every track is not the same.
Go.
Feel the thrill. Ooh, yeah. The Joker series, chase the skill. Round and round, we play the game. Fast and wild, never tame. Never tame. Never burns. The crowd goes wild. Victory's grin, the racer style. And across the globe, we're locked in tight. Salamander leads us into the night. Turn the corner, speed away. Every moment here to stay. Baseline pounding, hearts collide. The Joker series, ride or die. Go. feel the thrill. Ooh, yeah. The Joker series, chase the skill. Round and round, we play the game, fast and wild. Never tame.
Hey, yo, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Salamander Racing Joker Series. Man, last week we had a lot of good fun at Yas Marina at night under the lights. It was a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun this time as well. So, with that, let me bring in my host that's going to be helping me out. So, first off, is someone that you all have seen many a time before. I've got my good friend T Case. The formerly bearded one, is that what we call you now? So
No, we call me T-Face.
T-Face, got it. All
Yes,
right,
indeed.
so thanks for being here. It's just gonna be the two of us here today, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. You looking forward to this one, T-Case?
Oh yeah. Goodwood is an excellent track, and I actually owned one of these cars in real life a while back, and know how great they are and how much fun they are to drive. So I think going around Goodwood, such a historic track where they do all the festivities and all sorts of cars going around there. So I think it's very fitting that we do this today.
Yep, absolutely. So for those of you that may be new around here, first off, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. But what the Joker series is, what we do is, if you're familiar with a Joker lap, it was something that was invented, I believe, in Rallycross many years ago. The concept is that for one lap of the race, you end up doing a different section of track for one part of it. So we'll see here at Goodwood. At the very end, there's a chicane that the drivers go through before the start finish line, and there's sort of a slalom section off the left. That's the Joker lap here at Goodwood. So for one lap, the drivers are going to have to go through that section just to kind of spice things up a bit and give a little bit of extra strategy to the race. The general rule is you can't take the Joker lap on the first lap of the race, you can't take it on the last lap of the race, and you can't take it on an out lap. So not when you come out of the pits. But all the other laps are free game. We have had events in the past, like Yas Marina. We ended up having 3 Joker laps because there were 3 different sections where you could take a Joker. But at Goodwood, we just have one. So really fun time we're going to have here. I will mention our sponsor, 4D Racewear. The 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And if you do place an order, use code Salamander10X at checkout to get 10% off of your order. With that being said, let's go into what we are doing today. T-Case, you already mentioned Goodwood. Could you take us through the rest of it?
Absolutely. We are at Goodwood Revival Meeting. Race settings are 18 laps, with one lap being a Joker lap. You can see that picture there showing one car doing the regular chicane, which is already pretty tight, and then the other car doing a very, very tight chicane around the barriers. Tire wear is going to be 12x. That means one lap is like 12 laps of tire wear. That is a lot. I'm not going to try to do the math, but multiply 12 times 18 and it'll do it for you. Sport hard and sport medium tires are required, so there is going to be a bit of strategy here. Fuel burn is 5x, which is quite a bit. Refuel rate 3 liters per second, and damage is set to light. The 2 cars they will be driving are the Toyota 86 GT 2015 and the Subaru BRZ-S 2015. Heck of a motor carriage. Heck of a motor carriage.
Yeah, I ended up naming this one the Twinsie race because these cars are virtual carbon copies of themselves. A little bit of suspension tuning is different between the two, but otherwise they're basically the exact same car. And then just to call out on that tire wear, these are sport tires, so 12x sounds like a lot, but because they're sports tires, they generally last an awful long time. If the tire wear was set really low, there would be no reason to pit. So,
Yep.
but
Fair
a
enough.
fun one.
Fair enough.
All right, so with that said, let's go to what the keys, or what we think the keys to this race are going to be. So number one key to the race is to be aggressive with the throttle. These two cars are not terribly tail happy on corner exit, so you can mash the throttle and the thing still stays pretty planted. There are ways to get the back end to kick out, but to be fast around here, you definitely need to be aggressive with that throttle.
Indeed, yeah. They don't have enough power to not be aggressive on the throttle there. And key number 2 is stay off the grass. This is not lawnmower simulator, even though I've seen plenty of people think that it is. So easy to get off around here and just be on the grass and never find your way back. So stay off the grass. And then we have be the Duke, be smooth. You would think that that's counterintuitive to being aggressive on the throttle, but if you do it right, being aggressive and smooth on the throttle will get you around this place as fast as possible.
Yeah, so there we go. That's our commentators' keys to the race, what we think is going to make people fast around here. So really looking forward to this one. I know Goodwood isn't everybody's favorite. I've always really liked Goodwood. I mean, it's a flat track, kind of like Daytona is, other than the high banks, of course. But without the high banks, I mean, Daytona's a
Yeah,
flat track,
very flat, very flat.
Goodwood is here as well. I remember racing here in NRL a number of seasons ago. They were in the Group 4 Lamborghini, and it was difficult to get the speed out of the car. But once you figured it out, I mean, you kind of control the slide. You
Yep.
can really fly through the corners. You have to trust that your front tires are going to grip, and predict when they're going to start giving it up and not give the grip for you. So kind of makes for some fun times. I anticipate we will probably see a couple drivers going off into the grass pretending that we
Oh
have
yeah,
lawnmower simulator, not on purpose, of course. But
for sure.
another thing I found out while doing daily here is that there's a jump on one of the straightaways. You go off into the grass. If you go too far off in the grass, there's like a jump where you can jump your car. I don't anticipate anybody's going to try doing that here today, but a fun thing for people to maybe go search out on your own the next time you're in the game is to go check that out. We know we've seen people do the little jump on the straightaway at Mount Panorama and stuff like that, but all that sort of stuff. So
If Leo was here, he would definitely be out there doing the jump. Leo's always doing a jump. I do see Fernando does point out he tests for my lobbies that I do on Tuesdays. He always tests the cars at Goodwood. So we should expect some solid driving from Fernando today. I also see that K-Dub stopped in and was interested in joining and has since joined the lobby. So it's good to see all these drivers out there. Thank you all for tuning in. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Sal would greatly appreciate it. And I like Sal, so I would appreciate it too.
thank you, TKs. That's
Of course.
that's
You
very
have
much
my
appreciated.
endorsement.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so talking with the drivers here, yeah, we've got 7 in here. I know, like you said, Fernando gets some practice in. I've seen RTS Bandit out here with a number of lobbies open, putting some practice in. So I anticipate seeing a good time out of him as well. And Florinota, who was our last month's winner in the prize split we had at Yas Marina, is in on this one too. So let me go ahead and get qualifying going here,
Underway.
and then we will get on to track. Watch what these guys can do. So
Indeed, and with an 18-lap race with strategy involved, at a track like this, it's not the easiest track to overtake. So I think qualifying definitely is going to be key here to get a good lap in and start up ahead, because there's really only one heavy braking zone at the very end of the lap, and everything else is pretty high speed. So Should be interesting to see how these drivers fare out there.
All right, here we go. All right, we are on track. We've got, let's go through and look at all these liveries here. We got Florinota, a recent pickup to the Sector 7 crew. The Sector 7 livery on. Congratulations to him for being picked up by those guys. Got Fernando. Classic looking livery there. Got RTS Bandit repping all the different sponsors for NRL and Joker Series. I will mention NRL, they're going to be starting up their season here really soon. In fact, I believe today they just opened their registration. So definitely go find more information for that on mcnaughty.gg. We got Geezer Gears also repping all the good stuff out there. And he's got on the hood there, Upshift Media Studios. That's another endeavor that me and TKS are a part of. If you go find us at Upshift Media Studios on YouTube, we are doing all the broadcast and commentary for the VIP League. That's always a good time. Go check us out there as well. A-Dub looks like he just popped in. Looks like he took the car right off the lot, right off the sales lot, and brought it here to try to put in a qualifying effort. All right, they are all done with their out laps, starting on their hot laps. RTS
Here they
leading
go.
the way.
Ready to rock and roll.
Here we go through that fast left-hander. Ooh, you can see the back end
looking
kicking out
good.
a bit. Trying to get through there, and then again the tight left-hander after that, where again, if you slide the car too much, you're going to lose all your speed. But if you can be smooth, if you can be the Duke, keep that speed up, there's so much time to be had. We see Florinota catching up real quick. Florinota I found to be quite the tire whisperer. You know, when it comes to being smooth and saving your tires, you know, that's really the way to go. So Florinota maybe a heavy favorite today. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And it's such a momentum track because it is so flat. And these cars are so underpowered. It is really about carrying that speed. And if you let the back end wag too much, you're going to scrub off some of that speed. So there's a fine balance. But see, as RTS Bandit comes across the line, Florinota almost a full second ahead of him. Vetterdan coming in P2. Very interesting. Great looking liveries by everyone. Shout out to everyone for showing up. Oh, I guess not everyone. We did have somebody straight from the dealership, but they showed up as Fernando thinks about Lawnmower Simulator and now fully takes on and embraces the role. Losing it just a toe. And look how easy it is. He's trying to carry that speed and just dips a toe in the grass and loses it. Easy to do around here.
Let's see if we can go back a little further in that replay. See how this all started. Yeah, trying to carry that speed through there, but the front tires just didn't grab. He almost kept it on and only got the back tires back onto the pavement when they broke loose.
Yeah, indeed. But at least he had a great looking livery, and we got to watch that over and over again. But you can see, yeah, just slightly offline, pushing it too hard. Florinota, MP1, unable to improve on that sector, but just barely slower. So this is where the brakes come into play. And that was beautiful. And this chicane is so fun. Actually, recently, Fernando Button and I went too wide through that chicane.
Oh my.
And both made it through. It was incredible. Florinota able to improve by 0.152. Better Dan up to P2.
Vetterdan almost a full second behind Florinota, so we can see who's really got kind of the flow of this track down. Fernando come to the line here, see if he's able to improve. Crosses the line. No, oh, of course.
Yeah, if he improved, that'd be pretty incredible. K-Dub now across the line.
slightly better. Oh, and these are the last laps. Only a 5-minute qualifier, so these go by pretty quick. K-Dub with a 1.7 second improvement puts him up into P5.
Very nicely done. Geezer Gears on his final lap, aka Turtle Shell. Very cool guy. We were talking about him before the broadcast. I've gotten to hang out with him a few times at Daytona. Really, really nice fella. But Florinoda up 0.254 coming into the final sector. Keeping it tidy, not... Oh, look at how much curb they take on the inside into the chicane. Oh, using all the track, all the throttle. Go, 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 go. What's it going to be across the line? The line is so far down, and it is almost 0.4 seconds of an improvement. Another improvement by RTS Bandit, moving him up into P2.
Florinoda into the 24.9s. That is an amazing time. Again, the odds-on favorite to win this one. Fernando coming in, going to put in his final lap here.
Such a long straight, yeah.
Does improve by about a quarter second. Let's see, we have Geezer Gears coming to the line. I believe this is our last qualifier. Ooh, knocks 0.8 off of their time. Almost gets under the 1:30 mark.
And D. Rodriguez opting not to set a time. Very interesting. So we got Florinoda in P1 with a 124.901, over a second faster than the next driver. And then we have two almost identical times with RTS Bandit and PHG Veteran. Oh, so close. RTS Bandit in P2 with a 126.185. And then PHG Veteran in P3 with a 126.199. Then we have Fernando Button in P4 with a 127.595. Then PHG K-Dub in P5 with a 128.230. PHG Geezer Gears with a 130.086. And then D. Rodriguez with no time. All right.
Man, I will say that is tight. I mean, RTS Bandit was able to put in that fast lap, move him up into P2 on the very last lap. So, or the very last lap of qualifying. So, just barely got in there. Vetter Dan had a qualifier going and had quit to the pits there. So I don't know if he had made a mistake or just think he had his best time, but away we go. Actually, looking in the menu, it looks like D. Rodriguez. Oh, he has almost like a carbon copy livery of Geezer Gears or Turtle Shell. So that's funny. I didn't even notice that. We didn't get to see D. Rodriguez because he didn't put a time in, but
Turtle Shell, I see in the chat, says he forgot to change to softs. That'll do it.
No wonder his time was slower. Yeah, because we've got Sport Hard and Sport Mediums are required for the race, but Sport Softs are allowed, which people are only going to use that for qualifying because doing a two stopper in the race is not going to go well. So
no.
But I believe everybody should be good to go. Actually, let's give them one last tire, or actually Fernando already gave them a tire check.
Tire check.
We're going to get this one underway and get our first race of the night. We got 7 drivers out there. Hopefully, if people are out there watching, if they want to come in and participate, you certainly can. If you just go to the PapasHouseOfGame.com website and go to the Joker Series section, you can find all the rules for how this all works. I've even got a demo video out there on how to run this race. And come on out and join us. This is a fun one. But yeah, let's get this one going. We got 18 laps at Goodwood.
We got someone in the chat asking how many races we're doing tonight. I think that just depends on who shows up, right?
Yeah, I mean, normally we've done 3.
3,
so,
yeah.
I'm anticipating doing 3 unless we, end up having more drivers or less drivers. There we go.
So come join us if you want. We'd love to have you. Make sure you know what you're doing, though. And the lights are on, and now they are off, and the drivers are underway with Florinota leading the way as we go, go, go. Vetterdan getting a good jump off the line, applying pressure to RTS Bandit. RTS Bandit has the inside, and they get so close, but no contact. Incredible stuff, and everybody keeps it on the track as the grass looms ever so ominously on either side, and Vetterdan up into P2 around the outside. That was very impressive stuff. You don't usually see that, but he was just able to carry that momentum, Sal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, seeing those guys go side by side in that very first sector.
And we have an incident in the back. P6 and P7, P6 and P7. Oh my goodness, that's K-Dub and D Rodriguez. Let's see what happened here. Didn't look good. You can see K-Dub and D Rodriguez, and then that's Geezer Gear. So K-Dub goes off the track, comes back onto Geezer Gear, or onto D Rodriguez, losing control, and that allows Geezer Gears through and gaining 2 positions. So staying off the grass is definitely been the key to the race so far.
Yeah, it looks like D. Rodriguez just got a little too wide, and of course the car got super loose, came back onto the track and got into K-Dub. I'm sure that was certainly not on purpose, but man, that's going to put both of them back quite a bit. This first split that we got going on, it certainly appears to be a bit of a learning curve for folks. Well, we got more side-by-side. Bandit going through that turn 1, side-by-side with Fernando this time. Oh, Fernando off into the grass. Bandit also into the grass, but able to get himself back on.
Woo! Impressive stuff right there. And they're still not too far off Vetterdan, so still able to maintain speed. Their tires are going to be dirty, but I'm impressed with these 2 drivers. This is where we saw Fernando crash in qualifying. Bandit gets pushed out wide ever so slightly. Fernando carrying way too much speed, but impressive to keep it pointed in the right direction.
Wow. Yeah, usually when you go off like that, what we saw in qualifying is usually the end result. And we could see RTS Bandit is caught all the way up to Vetterdan and is past Vetterdan. I'm not sure what happened to Vetterdan there, or if he got involved in some of that and backed off.
Indeed, and all the front runners on the medium tire, the only drivers on the hards are D. Rodriguez and K-Dub. So here, this battle for P2 is on, and everybody on the same strat. Bandit pulling away.
Yeah, Florinota, 7-second gap on these next 3 drivers. We got Bandit, Vetterdan, and Fernando all relatively close to each other. And here we go. This time cleanly through turn 1. No side-by-side for Bandit this time, but still gets off into the grass a little bit, which is going to allow Vetterdan to carry that momentum. Bandit had a hard time keeping it on the pavement. He actually did better when going side-by-side with the other drivers, but once he had the track all to himself, tried to overdrive it just a little bit. But again, kept it pointed in the right direction.
Very impressive stuff, and it's not over yet. I do want to point out D. Rodriguez went for the Joker lap in P7 and has a 1.5 second penalty as well. But this battle up here is too good to take our eyes off of it. Very impressive stuff from Vetterdan, Bandit, and Fernando Button.
Absolutely. We do have wall penalties on, so I would imagine with the 1.5 second pen, probably got into the wall while trying to get through that little slalom section. I did that on purpose only because if you don't, somebody could just, not lift off the brakes, go into that slalom section, just pull the e-brake and save a lot of time, which is not what we want to have happen. So wall pens are on. But unfortunately, because it's such a tight little slalom there, it is really hard to get through it. But if you do it right, it's quite satisfying. But when you get it wrong, you end up not only getting a pen, but you can end up getting turned sideways. And Bandit still getting off into the grass, trying to get through those turns 1 and 2, allowing Fernando to get by.
Very
Let's catch
impressive
that
stuff.
from Fernando's point of view. These Bandit just get 2 tires off into the grass, then all 4 tires. Able to put
That
the pass
allows-
on easily after having lost that momentum.
Very impressive stuff. I suspected Fernando, while he didn't quite perform well in qualifying, I know how much he loves this track, and I think he's going to be able to be a bit more consistent once he locks in here. Currently sitting in P3, Geezer Gears in P6, D. Rodriguez, and oh, just ahead, K-Dub has gone off. K-Dub now in P6. He was just ahead of Geezer Gears and decided to play Lawnmower Simulator. This is where you're trying to carry all the speed. You just can't get it slowed down, and then the car just wants to rotate, overcorrects, and around he goes.
Yeah, when that happens, you end up so far off into the grass that it's really hard to.
And P4 Bandit taking the Joker. Look how slow you got to take it. But no penalties for Bandit. So that is Joker done for Bandit.
Yeah, you can see you really got to slow down to an absolute crawl and try to make it through there.
Vetterdan in P2 has a 1.5 second penalty and has Fernando B all over the back of him. So Fernando moving on up. Both drivers on the sport medium tires.
You can see those cars get. This car, like I said, on the throttle is great. It's nice and planted, but under braking, it certainly does get a bit sketchy, especially with the speeds that they carry through some of these longer sections. And these tight corners like the one Vetterdan's going through right now, you could very easily get that back end to slide out and scrub off all sorts of speed. Vetterdan and Fernando keeping it going.
Here comes that penalty.
But this penalty is going to hurt him. He loses a spot, a gimme spot to Fernando.
And Florinota just running away, 15 seconds ahead.
Hasn't done his Joker yet, I believe. But
yeah, as far as I know,
bring him back so far. Fernando. Well, Vetterdan tries to take the Joker, and there's that. It's a 1.5 second pen. Can't quite get it through.
Adding insult to injury.
Real.
There goes RTS Bandit on through. D. Rodriguez has already taken his Joker, so now he's on the hards. All he has to do is switch to those mediums at some point and finish this race. And oh, there it is, a 1.5 second penalty for K-Dub, clipping the inside of the chicane. Easy to do. Back on board with Florinota on the sport medium tires. Just over half a tank of fuel. We're on lap 6 of 18. So looking like he's going to be all right on fuel. Maybe needs to get a splash when he comes into the pits. But those sport medium tires are looking mighty fine. You're right, Sal. 12X tire wear is nothing on these sport tires.
Yep, absolutely. There is still a tire change requirement. So people will need to run at least 1 lap on those sport hard tires. So we'll see just how many people end up getting into the pits, or those that have practiced, those that started on the hards. We're on lap 6. I don't think anybody's pitted yet. Seeing how this tire wear is going, they may not have to put very many laps on those hard tires. In fact, some drivers who are really good with the tire wear may only have to do 1 lap on the hard tires.
And that's interesting. So this could be a detriment for K-Dub and D. Rodriguez, who started on the hards and have already done 6 laps on them. But these medium tire runners seem to be catching a groove, as Vetterdan, now having served his penalties, trying to catch up to Bandit. And Geezer Gears and D. Rodriguez not too far off. Now, they are all far off of Florinota, but not far off of each other.
Oh, and D. Rodriguez must have been listening, because he dives into the pits to get off those hard tires. 61% fuel left.
A-Dubs does the same thing.
Yep. And those
Just
were the
a
only
little
2
bit...
that were on the hard tires. Is that correct?
That is correct. So now they will come out on the mediums. It looks like D. Rodriguez taking some fuel. Let's see if K-Dubs does the same. Comes out on the mediums. K-Dub 59%. Definitely going to need to take some fuel. Fuel's back up to about 70. Well, he's still going. I don't think he needs that much fuel. But they're just going to fill up the tank, I guess. They got their parents' credit card and getting a full tank of gas.
A lot of drivers tend to use this first split as sort of the practice split. Try to, if you haven't had a lot of time to practice, this is kind of your practice round. Figure things out, and hopefully they'll be back in split 2 with a little bit more understanding and a little bit more competitive.
Indeed. Well, it's been plenty competitive with Vetterdan and Bandit. The two of them battling position in qualifying, now battling position on track, and what a move! What a move through the chicane! And oh my goodness, and it's because RTS Bandit is taking a pit, but that was incredible from Vetterdan right there. Sending it outside, inside out, living the Vida Loca. Vetterdan does it again.
That was an amazing move. Gets quite the dive. It looks like Bandit went nice and wide, preparing to enter the pits.
And use his turn signal to indicate. So Vetterdan knew he could full on send it and be okay. That was impressive.
Little bit of a door rub, but no damage to either driver. So all was fair in that little exchange, but man, it looked like quite the dive. Now that we saw that Bandit had his turn signal on, that it was all kind of planned. Vetterdan doing a little bit of lawnmower simulator there as well, but again, keeps it pointed in the right direction.
Easier said than done. I am a little confused why Bandit went into the pits, because he's coming out on the hard tires and there's quite a bit of race left. His mediums were doing just fine. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but I guess he's doing more of a 50-50 split as we see Fernando B at a snail's pace going through the chicane, but that was smooth. That looked like that was practiced.
Absolutely. That is exactly the way to do it. You just get her slowed down, you take your time, and you get through it a lot faster than if you're trying to rush it, for sure.
Textbook stuff as Geezer Gears comes through the chicane. Great shot there in the Joker Series livery. Coming across the line to start lap 9 of 18. So we're halfway there. G. Rodriguez, NP5, started last, went through a roller coaster of a beginning of the race. Now settling in on those sport medium tires, looking to eat up some lap time and catch up to Geezer Gears. RTS Bandit, having pitted and run the Joker Series, gonna take it to the end on these sport hard tires. We have K-Dub, who did start on the same strategy as D. Rodriguez on the sport mediums, took a full tank of fuel at the pit stop, which is why he fell so far back.
Yeah, I wonder with some of these drivers if they had put in the practice and see a lot different tire wear than what we're seeing from Florinoda. I'd mentioned before, he has proven himself to be quite the tire whisperer. And the fact that we're not seeing a lot of tire wear, I mean, he is about half down on his front left now, but we are just over the halfway point as well. Knowing that these tires will start to wear faster in the second half of the tire wear than they will in the first. I don't think the mediums are going to last 17 laps, but you never know. But
you never know.
Typically being good on the tires, I would imagine the other drivers maybe can only get 14 or 15. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out in the end.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a track you don't want to understeer. It's predominantly right-hand turn, so that front left is going to wear the fastest, and we've seen how deadly it can be if you just run a little bit wide and dip a toe into that grass. So looking at the front left being close to 50%, I imagine some of these drivers are going to have to adjust their driving style because you just can't push it when it doesn't grip for you on those right-handers.
Yeah, absolutely. I had mentioned in the pre-race that you go into some of these fast corners and you just have to trust that the front tires are going to grip up and that you're going to make it through. That's the only way to really be fast. Just keep the throttle down. But as the tires start to wear, that philosophy could become more detrimental, and you do have to back off a little bit. The nice thing with this particular car is that just simply lifting off the throttle in the corner does get the back end to kind of shimmy a bit, give you a bit more rotation. And as long as you can control it, if you're not too aggressive with it, as long as you're being the Duke and being smooth, you can control that slide and use it to your advantage. If you're too aggressive with the brakes or with getting off of the throttle, then you will send your car around. As RTS Bandit goes off into the grass again.
After being lapped by Florinoda. And there's a half-second penalty to boot.
Yep, and do remember that Bandit has both taken the Joker and pitted, whereas Florinoda has done neither. So
yes,
in addition to being fast and putting a lot of distance on the drivers, Bandit will unlap himself when Florinoda does decide to take the Joker and jump into the pits to get off of those tires.
Indeed, indeed. Bandit going for a long run, a long stint on the racing or the sport hard tires. Florinoda staying out as we start lap 12 of 18. So Florinoda really pushing that front left to its limits. But as you mentioned, we know what they're capable of, and they're capable of great things when it comes to tire wear.
Well, and look at the tire now. We were just talking a lap ago that he was at about 50%. He was doing really good with the tire wear. And now it is well under 50%. He's getting close to that 66, 2/3 of it gone now. And we are, at the end of lap 12, we'll be 2/3 of the way through. So might be able to get 17 laps out of this. I have my guess.
Be. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he is consistent on his lap times, a high 26, a low 27. So he seems to be doing just fine. Fernando B in a happy P2, having served his Joker lap, but not yet pitted, taking those mediums as far as he can. But Florinoda, 42 seconds, as Vetterdan has a little bit of a wiggle, cuts the corner. Will that be a penalty? Let's find out. We look back on board. He just touches the grass, a little bit of understeer, and his front left is not looking good. A little bit of understeer onto the grass, and that messes him up. And there it is, a half-second penalty.
Yeah, it looked like when we switched the camera to him, it looked like he had undercut the corner and was on the inside, but we found out on the replay that the whole reason for that was that he had gone wide and got that oversteer, which shot him to the inside.
Yes, it
Killed
did.
his momentum.
Absolutely. And Vetterdan just trying to hold on to some semblance of a podium there. Geezer Gears wouldn't mind trying to get that position back, but Bandit holding on very nicely and following Florinoda. Now, this is one of those instances where being lapped is probably a good thing, because he's getting a front row seat to what Florinoda is doing and is holding on to the back end of him. So this is kind of like chasing that fast ghost when you're trying to set a qualifying time.
Yeah, even with the sport hard tires, he is certainly holding his own here with Florinoda. I was kind of surprised Florinoda hadn't pulled away. Bandit off into the grass again. Is he going to keep it straight? He does keep it straight.
The commentator's curse at it again. Very nicely done, Bandit. Those are going to be some dirty tires. As Florinoda 38 seconds ahead of Fernando B.
I think Florinoda might have taken the Joker. Either he had a big mistake or took the Joker lap on that last lap, because you can see his lap time was 1:33, 6 to 7 seconds slower than his previous bets. And he's also down 1.6 on his fastest lap this time around as well. That tire wear has really got to be affecting his lap times at this point. And we talked about he could probably make it through lap 17, but he is not going to. He's going to head into the pits at the end of lap 13, put on those hard tires.
It's going to allow Bandit to unlap himself.
Yep, Bandit's going to unlap himself. He's going to have about 5 laps to do on the hard tire. And if I recall, we saw the initial hard tire runners come in at the end of lap 6. So they may have been listening to us, but they may have been knowing what they were doing all along.
I doubt it. See, Fernando, I imagine, will follow suit, as well as Vetterdan, into the pits. D. Rodriguez will stay out. Imagine Geezer Gears into the pits as well. And K-Dub and Bandit will not need to pit either. So We should see a bit of a shakeup in the order.
Yep, we saw
Better
Better Dan
Dan.
had his turn signal on, and of course had gone into the pits as you had predicted. Going to get off of those mediums.
And Fernando stayed out. Fernando feeling okay.
He's been
Wanted
able to
to hold
manage
on to
his
that
tires.
P2.
He's still got some grip left on that front left, although it's got to be affecting his times at this point. It's probably still manageable. We'll see just how long he sticks out for. Easer Gears also into the pits.
Should allow Bandit. Yeah.
Yep.
Jinx, buy me a Coke. Bandit, yeah, should unlap him. No, Geezer Gear's coming out of the pits. And Bandit still in P6. Interesting.
This is a very short pit road. The pit lane is not very long on this one at all.
And Florinoda catching K-Dub. K-Dub having done everything he needs to do for this race. Probably doesn't want to be lapped, but you know, it is what it is. He hopped in here, no practice. Hopefully in the next round he'll do a little bit better. But Fernando surely into the pits this lap, and surely he is. You're right, this is. I never thought about how short of a pit lane that really is, and it is tiny.
It's a tight one to get into as well. We've seen drivers have to get on the brakes while heading into the pit lane. There are some tracks like Interlagos, for example, where you can just keep it mashed as you enter the pit lane. Daytona is the same way. But here, a lot like Road Atlanta, it takes a little finesse getting in there.
Wow, D. Rodriguez from last to second. Really showing us how it's done here. Still 35 seconds behind Florinoda, but very impressive to take that second step on the podium so far.
Yeah, still has plenty of tire wear left. Granted, when we get to the end, those sport mediums may have evened out to where the hard runners are running. You know, if he's got the tire wear down to like, there's only 25% of the tire left, that last lap could be a bit sketchy, whereas those on the hard tires will be able to continue to go full send in hard tire. 6.6 seconds separates D. Rodriguez from Fernando. Up to see if that is a gap he's able to make up.
6.7, 6.8. D. Rodriguez is no slouch. Fernando on that outlap. Back in the pits.
Into the pits again.
Going for a soft tire, maybe try to snag that fastest lap.
That's entirely possible. Yep, sure enough, comes out on the soft tire.
Show us how it's done.
22-second gap to K-Dub, 23-second gap. So a lot of time to make up, but should be able to snag that fastest lap for posterity.
Little bragging rights, Vetterdan in P4 has a bit of an issue coming out of the chicane. We can catch that again. He handles it well, but you can see here as he comes in, drifting around that final corner. I think he just comes in a bit too hot, snaps the back end and off into the grass, but keeps it pointed in the right direction.
I mentioned I ran this race in NRL in those Lamborghinis, and that exact thing happened to me going through that chicane, getting out onto the grass. But unfortunately, I kept my foot in it, and it ended up spinning me around and ruined my race. So, Better Dan made it look easy. He was able to
sure
keep it
did.
pointed in the right direction. It is not as easy as it looked.
No. Fernando B still holding on to the podium and touches the grass, spins out, but he's got a 6-second gap on Vetterdan. This is a chance for Vetterdan to put his foot to the floor. You can see him in the background. Vetterdan round the outside, and that's the podium back to Vetterdan. Unfortunate for Fernando.
You can catch that again as he goes into this corner. Flips the curb, tries to keep the gas down, but does get the back end to step out just as it got onto the curb. Comes almost to a complete stop there, which, like we saw, allowed Vetterdan to fly on by. Now, Vetterdan's only got a 2.7 second gap at this point. There are 2 laps left in the race. Better Dan does need to keep his head down and not make a similar kind of mistake. Otherwise, Fernando could get that spot back.
He definitely could. All it takes is one toe in the grass and everything unravels. But Florinoda commanding with a 33.8 second lead over D. Rodriguez, showing us all how it's done. Hopefully we get some newcomers in the second race that can challenge this, or perhaps we'll get D. Rodriguez to qualify and see what happens there.
And we can see with the lap and a half left to go, that front left is really starting to wear down. It is the superior tire, so it probably still has about the same kind of grip as the hard, maybe a little bit less. They're probably pretty even with the hard tire runners at this point. Better Dan in P3 is 17 seconds back, so a lot of time to make up. Fernando Button has lost a little more time to Better Dan after that unfortunate spin just a lap ago. Then the gap back to Geezer Gears is another 23 seconds. Geezer Gears, also known as Turtle Shell, getting used to this combo. K-Dub taking the scenic route.
Beautiful. RTS Bandit
is purple. Looking to try to steal that fastest lap, but Florinoda, I believe, is going to be coming to the line here in just a bit. Does have a half-second penalty to serve, but that is no big deal with a 33-second gap.
ain't no thing for Florinoda.
Going through the final couple corners, keeping it well planted. Through the final chicane, nice and smooth, off into the grass just a little bit. Again, keeps it pointed in the right direction. Florinoda is going to be our winner.
Very nicely
First split
done.
here tonight.
You can see those sport mediums, just like you said, Sal, nice and worn. He's just got to bring it home. He's got a plenty sizable gap there to Better Dan. RTS Bandit is going to get the fastest lap and finish the race. A 1:26.022. D. Rodriguez coming across the line from last to second. Very impressive driving from D. Rodriguez.
Absolutely. Hope that he sticks around for the second split here and see what kind of a challenge he can have for the front for a longer period of the race.
Better Dan gonna
Wiggle.
round out the podium.
Fernando, unfortunately, had a podium well in hand. Had that mistake just with 2 laps to go, sent him back to P4.
He will be definitely wanting to do better, and he knows he's got the ability to do so. Just a matter of executing and staying off the grass.
There we go. Geezer Gears come to line. P5 to finish off our first split. The Salamander Racing Joker Series today. Congratulations to S7R's Florinoda for achieving the pole and getting the first victory. Go ahead and save this replay. And one last time, let's go through the results, TKs.
Florinoda starting on pole, finishing in first place. Then we have D. Rodriguez starting last, finishing second, rounding out the podium. PHG's Better Dan. Then we have Fernando B in P4, PHG Geezer Gears in P5, PHG K-Dub in P6, RTS Bandit with the fastest lap of a 1:26.022 in P7.
And RTS Bandit there had taken an extra pit stop to get that fastest lap. So not indicative of his pace. We did see him practice. Looked like he had gone off in the grass a number of times, but otherwise had a pretty good race. I think if he gets that cleaned up, may also be competing for the podium in this one.
Absolutely. I think there's a number of drivers who could have finished on the podium based how that was going. Just a matter of keeping it clean for all 18 laps.
Absolutely. What do you think? Should we nominate a driver for driver of the race here?
Oh yeah, mine is going to be D Rodriguez. Starting in the back, having some incidents, and then still managing to finish P2 on the alt strategy is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. That is a solid pick. I will do the no-brainer and go with Florinota as the runaway winner in this one. So we'll put that poll out there in the YouTube chat. Everybody can vote on that. While we go to break here, we will take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back. If you're new around here, well, even if you're not new around here, please remember to hit that like button. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We like to do these Joker Series events at least once a month, along with a lot of other stuff we do here at the Salamander Racing channel. So please remember to hit those buttons. Give us about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back in just a little bit.
One twist, one trick, one path that breaks the map. The fool with the crown takes a Joker lap. Let it roll, let it riot. We don't run with the rules, we redraw the lines. Paint my wheels in chaos, cut time with knives. Split second grin with the sideways slide. Jester in the mirror, madness in my drive. Tire scream, I hear him laughing. Mid-race flip, I'm stunning in action. All eyes watch as I roll and snap. They cut the track, I take the Joker lap. Joke's on you. Joke's on you. Round and round. No path is true. Let the jester lead, let the chaos bleed. Cut across the edge where madness fades. Let Joker, let me break the map. Wild card racer in a technicolor trap. Spin that grin, let the rubber burn black. Who needs rules when the tricks bring back? Roll the die, shift the track. I'm back. Shortcut mind in a midnight mask. Flick up the wrist, twist of the cap. I win dirty, call it Joker lap. Chrome bells hang from the rear view mirror. Every move I make cuts close to fear. Neutral code, chaotic in soul. I bend each checkpoint into a black hole. No good, no evil, just the thrill. Clown crown bound by my own free will. No script, no fate, no final map. Just smoke and mirrors in the Joker lab. Green light, I saw him once on a midnight bend. A grin like fire, a curve with no end. Did he win? Did he fall? Did the race collapse? No one knows. Pass the Joker lap. Front back to bend, I beat the trap. Text my mind in a synapse snap. Loop my lane in a twisted map. Burn through time on the Joker lap. Face your all you play. Fools take the road. I
Hello, everybody. Welcome back from that quick little break. Thanks for hanging with us. Let's see. Let's close out the poll here we got going on in YouTube. And it looks like Florinota ran away with that one. So congrats to Florinota on both the win and the nominated driver of the day. So also the popular driver, apparently.
And pole position. So
And pole
triple
position.
star.
He's
Triple
just
star.
knocking it out of the park. So, all right. So with that being said, let's for anybody who just dropped in and don't know what we're doing, let's go over the round info one more time, real quick.
Indeed, we
take us
got
through it again.
We got Goodwood, 18 laps with 1 lap being the Joker lap, 12 times tire wear, sports hard and sports mediums required. However, the sports softs are allowed. So in qualifying and as we saw in last race, perhaps a last-ditch effort for fastest lap, we might see sports softs. Fuel burn is at 5x and the refuel rate is 3 liters per second. Damage is set to light, and the drivers can drive the Toyota 86 GT 2015 or the Subaru BRZ S 2015.
Awesome. Yep, should be another fun one. With that being said, let's also mention our sponsor for this race. We have got 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel. Designed for sim racing by sim racers, 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And if you do place an order, make sure to use code Salamander10x at checkout to get 10% off of your order.
Indeed, we're both rocking our...
Racewear. Yeah, they made T-Case won a special jersey from them. I'm wearing my 4D Racewear jersey as well. I don't have the camera at an angle where you can really see it. If I turn around, you can see it's got my Joker Series logo on the back. Very comfortable.
Yeah, buddy.
I do like this thing. I've also got the 4D gloves. I do have the 4D shoes. Good quality stuff. I mean, I can't recommend it enough, not just because they're sponsoring but the channel, but they've actually got some good quality product. Definitely go check them out. All right, with that being said, we've got split number 2 here. It looks like we had one swap. Florinota, our winner, looked like was only going to be able to make the first split and had to duck out, but in has jumped PHG's Ecstasy. So we do have 7 drivers again, but we are now guaranteed to have a new winner this round. So with that
Putting
said,
my money on D. Rodriguez.
You know, D. Rodriguez did really great. Vetter Dan also had a really good run, but he had that unfortunate incident where he did the Austin Powers in the Joker. I would imagine if he can get that cleaned up, may end up having quite the race this time around. We'll see how that goes. We're going to get the cars out onto the track here in just a moment, where it looks like they're heading out there now.
Oh, I'm seeing in chat, Bandit's using his new pair of 4D Racewear, saying it is the first race that he's gotten to use them. So very cool. See the community enjoying 4D and everything they have to offer.
Absolutely. That is great to see. What do you say? He's got the gloves?
He just said pair, so either gloves or shoes. I do not remember what he has earned or what he has purchased. But he's got a pair, and that's all that matters.
There we go. We're going to check out all these liveries again. Looks like Fernando switched over to the Subaru this time around. K-Dub putting a few more miles on his brand new car. Ecstasy, the newcomer in this split. That is a wild livery. That looks like something I may have spent some time on.
I like that. It's like a stained glass window.
Geezer Gears looks nice. D. Rodriguez looks like just used Geezer Gears and threw a wing on it.
Throw a wing on that.
A wing on his. His license plate says he's crappy. Not sure why, but apparently crappy. All right, so there we go. Done with their out lap. Quick little qualifier here. Just 5 minutes to get qualifying down. 3 minutes left. They should get at least 2 hot laps in, maybe a third.
We saw
is leading them around on the
there
sport
is
soft tires. Let's run through the field here. I want to see if anybody forgot to change tires again.
Oh, good call.
I think everybody remembered to put the sport softs on this time. That's good to see. Best foot forward.
Ooh, and a penalty for RTS Bandit. Unfortunate on his first flyer.
Will serve it on this lap, so it's not going to kill this lap and the next lap. It'll only kill this lap. I think everybody is spread out enough, but still close enough that they're not going to lose too much time. Mando catching up Bandit after serving that penalty, but still has a gap. He'll hold all that speed through that final section. Into the tight chicane. Stays off the curb.
Nice and tidy.
Bandit with a 27.2.
Fernando just behind.
A 57.5 or a 27.5, I guess is what it was. Still is provisionally
after the
sitting
penalty,
on pole, even with the penalty.
Ah, well, there we go. D. Rodriguez took that from him.
A 26.3. Now we did see Florinoda in the last split ended up with a 24.9. So we know there's a lot more pace left to be had out there as they burn the fuel off.
Interesting.
Definitely has the pace.
Yes, he was probably wishing Florinoda stuck around and to give them a proper challenge, but I'm sure he will not be unhappy with the pole as Vetterdan goes purple. Vetterdan's trying to have something to say about all this.
I think
looking
Vetterdan
very
got
smooth.
out onto the track a little late. May only get one hot lap, maybe a second one.
I like that livery too. The Batman Joker with the flames. I'm a sucker for flames.
He's been repping that style of livery pretty much every month, and I appreciate it.
Oh, Bandit takes pole position.
Ooh, a 26.2.
Very impressive. And K-Dub up into P3. And Ecstasy up into P3. Okay, all right.
Seeing a shakeup here as people are starting to figure this track out. Ecstasy being the first time running around here has been able to put themselves up to P3. And Vetterdan, the 25.7.
That's going to be it for Vetterdan.
All right, everybody on their final lap here. RTS Bandit, as we get around these corners and down this next straight, we'll see a time check. You can see him pushing it all the way to the outside there, using as much of the track as possible. But keeps it off the grass. They approach the time check, see where they're at. Up, down about a 10th on their previous best. Rodriguez, we see it. Both of his hot laps were in the 26s. He approaches the time check. Down about a 10th on this one, too. Bandit, must have had an issue there coming through the final chicane.
See what G. Rodriguez can do.
Puts down a better time. Ecstasy puts down a better time. A 26.3.
G. Rodriguez up into P.
26.1.
Up into P2. Very nice. Vetterdan laying it down. Can't find a better Dan than Vetterdan.
Geezer Gears also with an improvement. But we've got some tight times up at the top. Look at that.
Yeah, I think
Places 2, 3, and 4 are within 0.2 of each other. And K-Dub is not far off as well. If we look through the results here, we got Vetterdan putting down the only car in the 125s with a 125.765. D. Rodriguez, the 126.164. RTS Bandit close behind with a 126.254. Ecstasy in P4 with a 126.344. K-Dub also not too far off with a 126.654. Fernando Button coming out in the BRZ with a 127.488. And PHG's Geezer Gears with a 129.184. So this looks
well,
like
there
it
we
might be
go.
a bit more competitive of a split.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see a real battle for the podium, much like we saw in the last race. But I mean, Vetterdad was well ahead of everyone else in qualifying time, but we saw they had plenty of issues during the race as far as keeping it on track. I think Florinoto was the only one that was just consistently on track the whole time. Everybody else seemed to dip a toe here and there or had an issue with the Joker. So we'll see if Vetterdan can be consistent, but I think it's going to be a much closer race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Goodwood is deceptively tricky. You know, there's such a tight margin for error in that you're trying to push for that speed and use as much of the track as possible, but there's very little runoff. A lot of the track is just track and then grass. And then as soon as your tires touch the grass, especially under braking, it's going to send your car around and into a tizzy. So if these guys can keep it on track, that's certainly the fastest way around. You know, you start to get anxious once you've got someone in front of you and you're trying to find that extra line to get around, or you've got someone in your rearview mirror and you're trying to just stay ahead of them. That's when it can cause you to make a bit of a mental lapse and have a
Right.
mistake on your hands. But you know, we'll see if these guys can keep it all together. I gave them the warning. We're going to get started. Let's get this race underway. We got 7
Let's do
drivers
it.
again.
I'm excited. Joker Series is on like Donkey Kong. Drivers getting out onto the track. Everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing. Let's take a look here. As we got Vetterdan on pole position. D. Rodriguez P2, RTS Bandit P3. Lights are on. Now they are off, and we are go, go, go. And again, a great launch by the pole sitter. Not so good by P2. That's allowed RTS Bandit and PHG Ecstasy to overtake D. Rodriguez into T1 as we go 2 wide in the background. It's like Noah's Ark back there as Vetterdan enjoying a nice clean getaway. Great start from Vetterdan. Not so much there by D. Rodriguez, who's fallen back into P6 there, Sal.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, we saw 2 sets of 2 wide, and everybody kept it on track. We're getting to the section where in the last split we saw an incident getting through this tight little bit here, but it looks like everybody kind of keeping it. There's some sliding in the background, but everybody's still on the track. Nobody going off. Definitely the competition in this one seems to be a bit tighter. Really surprised to see D. Rodriguez having lose that much time that quickly.
We saw in the background there, RTS Bandit ran ever so slightly too wide, and instead of keeping it pinned and staying in the grass, he lifted. That has allowed Ecstasy up into P2, and he puts him under threat from Fernando B and K-Dub as 2 drivers trying to overtake. They go 2 wide. This is going to work out for Bandit as K-Dub and Fernando. Oh no, and there's contact, and K-Dub gets pushed wide. Fernando cuts up the inside. Fernando up to P3. I don't even know what I just saw right there, if I'm perfectly honest.
Well, let's go back and check out a replay and see what happened here. It looked like, let's go back to K-Dub. As he comes through, he's side by side with Fernando. Well, Bandit goes a bit wide, and then it looked like K-Dub overcorrected.
Yep.
And ended up going off. K-Dub got the worst of that one.
To me, it looked like Fernando B did nothing wrong. So keep on going, Fernando. You had that corner. K-Dub tried to chance it around the outside and then had an obstacle ahead. So I think that was a great move from Fernando right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to go too wide at some spots, and through some of these corners, we've seen the drivers be able to make it. If you just slow her down a bit, you can get too wide through these corners. You just got to make sure you don't dip a tire onto the grass. And in that particular case, it looked like.
Oh, and K-Dub in P7 has had a spin. We might be able to catch that. I was going through and looking at the drivers' tires. Bandit and D. Rodriguez, only drivers on the hards. You can see K-Dub just pushes it too hard into that left-hander and gets partially on the grass. Unfortunate for K-Dub. But yes, only 2 drivers on the hards. That is RTS Bandit and D. Rodriguez. Everyone else on the mediums. Better
so
Dan.
That would explain the slow start from D. Rodriguez off the line.
Yes.
Hard tire. Has fought his way back up to P4.
Now, wait a minute. That just said RTS Bandit on an outlap. And now RTS Bandit taking the Joker. So for some reason, oh, and K-Dub into the barrier further behind. That's a penalty. For some reason, Bandit pitted. I'm beyond confused. And there's a 1.5 second penalty for K-Dub.
You know, his time was only a 1:42. I don't know if he pitted. That might have been a game glitch.
Okay.
Because with he had a 1:45 for his first lap and a 1:42 with the Joker on the second lap.
Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Ignore my uh-oh. The game glitched again. The camera on my end was like frozen. I was like, oh, somebody had a crash. But no, Fernando B in P2 is under pressure from S2C in P3. Very good driving from these 2 drivers.
Yep, only a half second separates them. S2C not getting much of a tow here coming down the long straight, trying to close that gap, getting into the braking zone. Does get on the brakes a little later, but still not quite able to get under that half second gap between the 2. They enter into the chicane at the end. Both of them taking it nice and neatly. S2C with a bit better exit coming out of there.
Very nicely done. S2C now going to apply the pressure. We've seen drivers overtake. Oh, and D. Rodriguez taking the Joker, I imagine.
Let's double check that, but I'm pretty sure. Yep, sure enough.
And very nicely taken. I like it. I like to see it. Yes. And it's amazing that the game doesn't reset you. And there's Bandit into the pits. Can he make those mediums last to the end? I don't know about that, but he might be doing what he did last time and thinking about another pit for the softs at some point.
I think we did see that the tires can last 16, 17 laps, although you are going to burn them all the way down. The last lap is going to be awfully sketchy if he runs it the whole way, but this time he did fewer laps on the hards. I think he's hoping to see to just get some clean laps by himself. See if he can just manage that tire wear. The action we have here on track is for second place. Fernando Button, S2C. Battling it out. Vetter Dan is now pulled away. Has a 6.6 second gap on P2.
Very nicely done. It seems to be that having clean air up there and not having to worry about anything else is the way to go. Qualifying being key. And the battle for P2 still hasn't let up, so I love these podium battles that we're getting. As you can see, Fernando and S2C, Fernando just having to drive in his mirrors a little bit, S2C able to focus on ahead. But on a track like this, it's hard to follow a driver who's driving in the mirrors because they're going to end up inevitably pushing it too hard in some corner, and you're just going to follow them right off the track as S2C's making himself very large in the mirrors of Fernando. Can he force a mistake? And if he does, will he follow suit? Riding on board with S2C, you can see the pressure applied to that BRZ. Fernando having to go defensive, Can this open up a switcheroo for Estes? It's looking like it, or will Fernando close the door? Fernando tries to close the door. Estes dips a toe in the grass. Now they're going side by side down the back straight with a slight kink here, which will favor Fernando as he goes, and he's able to cut ahead of Estes. Great defensive driving from Fernando. Very clean by both drivers.
Yeah, that really was an opportunity for Estes to try to get around there, having the inside line, but wasn't quite able to keep that momentum up on the long straight. Fernando continuing to go with a slightly defensive line, gets a better exit out of that final chicane, and puts a little bit of distance between himself and Estes. While these two have been battling, they've been able to put quite a bit of distance on Geezer Gears, who's 11 seconds back.
And Geezer Gears has D. Rodriguez hunting him down. So D. Rodriguez looking to make up quite a few positions here.
And remember, D. Rodriguez has started on the hard tire and has gotten his Joker lap out of the way. So back in P5, but looking to be making up an awful lot of time here as we've got well over half the race left to go.
Indeed, we're on lap 6 of 18, and the battle for P2 is still on. Fernando making a tiny mistake there, getting a bit of a wiggle, but has the inside into this hairpin. Here's where we saw the attempt at the switchback, but no, Fernando getting a much better exit that time, not going too deep. And Estes going to have to tuck into the slipstream as they come into the final sector of this racetrack.
I think Estes was trying to get that cut back again, but in doing so, it scrubbed some speed by sliding those rear tires. Has been unable to get up side by side with Fernando, so looking to maybe get a better exit out of the final chicane here this time around. As Fernando goes a bit wide, allows him to close the speed, but there is just no opportunity to pass here. We saw Vetterdam put a heck of a pass in the last race, but that was because RTS Bandit was headed into the pits.
Very impressive driving from both of these drivers as, it looks like D. Rodriguez may have had a bit of an incident going a little slowly into the chicane and dropping off the back of Geezer Gears. Let's see if we can see this again. Yeah, goes too deep, dips a toe into the grass, somehow manages to keep it pointed in the right direction. But that was definitely a Code Brown moment for D. Rodriguez.
100%. I saw on the track map that he was pointed sideways. I was like, uh-oh.
Got it. Oh my goodness, look at that. I love that they're blue and red. It's making for a very visually stunning battle between Fernando Button and PHG's Estes. But still nothing Estes can do. Fernando putting his car in exactly the right place every time. I'm very impressed as we're on lap 7 of 18. Plenty of time to go. Both drivers will need to pit and run a Joker.
Like Estes just giving him the bump draft this time around. Hoping that maybe giving Fernando a little overspeed, he will not compensate in the corner, make a mistake, and give Estes the spot. Always fun, the kind of mind games these drivers play. Like, why is he bumping me?
Yeah, I went defensive and you just, and that's going to do it for Estes. Hitting the inside there of the chicane and getting a 1.5 second wall collision penalty. Look at this again. You can see he just wants it. He's tired of looking at those taillights and tries to get a better exit. Unfortunately, cuts it too tight. Very easy to do there.
Oh, that is
and
so
picks up damage.
I mean, you slow down so much having hit the wall to begin with, but the added wall contact penalty just adds insult to injury. D. Rodriguez coming in to get off of those hards after 7 laps this time. So it looks like he's going to try to put 11 laps on the medium tires. Could be very fast at the end. He starts lap 8 coming out of the pits.
There we go. Lap 8 of 18. K-Dub in P6. Just hanging on there. I'm sure he's having a good time. It's a fun track to lap and a fun car to lap in. So RTS Bandit on the sport medium tires, gonna try to take them to the end of the race, gaining on K-Dub. Should be able to pass him once he catches based on how they've been driving in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I suspect that he'll start to reel that in. Looks like he lost a little bit of, or nope, now he's purple. So he's certainly having a good quick lap here. It's a matter of you don't want to push it too hard. You know, he's trying to stretch these mediums out, pitted nice and early, trying to do the undercut. But is going to have to make sure to make them last at the very end. Rodriguez, on the other hand, waited quite a while to get onto those mediums. Is going to have nice, fresh rubber at the end of this race and is still sitting in P5. So,
yeah, 52 seconds behind Vetterdan, who has a almost 18-second gap to Fernando B. So Vetterdan now pulling a Florinota, if you will, and getting quite the gap on his competitors. But it's been helpful that Fernando B and Estesy battled for about every single lap of this race so far until Estesy got that penalty. So Vetterdan looking good. Tires are looking good. Fuel's looking good. We're halfway there. He's put down a purple sector. Pretty consistent lap times. His last lap was a 129.0, so slightly slower than what he's been doing, but for the most part, getting in those 27s, and there it is, messing up in the chicane. That's not going to help him. Now, just 18 seconds ahead of Fernando. Let's look at this again, Sal.
it looked like he hit the wall, but somehow avoided a penalty. Stewart's looking the other way on that one, it appeared.
A bit of a force field. Maybe he is capable of using the force. Perhaps his metachlorians are off the scale.
I like that reference.
Thank you. I thought you would. I did it for you only. Nobody else can enjoy that.
I'm sure some others may have picked up on that. Oh,
and
geezer going wide in turn one.
Ooh, and he's still wide. Look at the dirt kicking up.
He just kind of rode that out. Let's watch his throttle inputs. I want to see if he's kept his foot in it or kind of idled through this one. Gets wide. He's off the gas now, just trying to fight it back to the track. No inputs at all, just trying to get it back. Once he finally gets tires on the racing surface, then he finally gets the throttle going. That's how you do it without spinning your car around.
You're going to lose time, but not as much. Yeah, minimize your losses. Not as much time as spinning. It's but it's hard to do, right? You're just like, you want to go faster, and when you can't put your foot down, it's frustrating.
Absolutely. Fernando here in P2, still around 17 seconds back from Vetterdan, so hasn't been losing too much time. I think getting that battle away from Estesy has allowed him to put in some quick lap times. Estesy just trying to recover and make up some time from hitting that wall. Easer Gears having kind of a quiet race, but steadily just hanging out in P4 here. On the sport medium tires, still starting lap 11. The Geezer Gears start on the hards?
I don't think so, no.
It looks like he's a carbon copy of his last lap, goes off there in turn one, and once again keeps off the throttle, does not spin the car out.
It was just G. Rodriguez. G. Rodriguez and Bandit were the ones who started on the hards. But that's K-Dub and Bandit in the pits.
All right, so Bandit is doing another two-stopper, trying to make the two-stop work. Bandit started on the hards, went to the mediums, and is now coming out on the softs. So going to try to put 7 laps in on those softs. You know, that's possible.
To each their own. As long as he's having fun, that's all that matters. As K-Dub gets lapped by PHG's Vetterdan. Vetterdan looking to hunt down Bandit there, but I think Bandit being on those softs, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, fresh softs compared to worn mediums. I would imagine Bandit's going to get away a bit. And we'll see how that all shakes out as these pit stops start to come through. Now that we're getting to 12 laps in. Oh, K-Dub off into the grass.
Getting used to those sport hard tires.
But as I was saying, get 12 laps in, we should start seeing these drivers that have been stretching out the sport mediums probably come in soon within the next lap or two, put on the hards and run it to the end. You can see that tire wear got at least 2/3, somewhere between 2/3, 3/4 of those tires gone. Right on pace with what we saw last time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The chicane is so brutal. Vetterdan takes it very nicely and stays out for another lap, starting lap 13 of 18. Fernando B.
Yep, coming to these last couple corners. Don't believe Fernando's taken his Joker yet. I believe with the way this is laid out, I don't think, no, you could take the Joker and then get into the pits, but only if you're able to go all the way across the track.
Yeah, if there's another driver coming through the chicane, it's not going to happen. But if you've got clean track around you, you definitely could. And I'm always been a fan of pitting on your in lap. It makes sense to me. You're already going to be adjusting to pit, might as well take your slower lap. But I've yet to do well in a Joker Series race, so don't listen to me. PHG, SSC, and PHG Geezer Gears in the pits. SSC is out on the hards. Geezer Gear not too far behind. D. Rodriguez on the mediums in P3, back up into those podium positions after that horrific start he had at the beginning of this race.
He's been able to put in clean laps on these sport mediums now, not battling with anybody. Should start bringing that time down. In fact, has a purple sector going. So Vetterdan has a 46-second lead on D. Rodriguez, and Fernando has a 25-second lead. We know that this pit stop is relatively short, but D. Rodriguez is also going to be on the faster tire at the end.
Yep. Could be interesting.
Going around again, 14th lap on those sport mediums.
Feeling comfortable, I guess. I think Fernando's going to do the same thing. Yeah, he does and stays out. So these two drivers feeling confident in their abilities to get around this track without any mistakes, because we've seen how costly a mistake can be around here.
Absolutely. It's all about if you're comfortable with it. If you're comfortable, you're keeping it on the track, and you're still having good lap times. I mean, we see with Vetterdan's lap times here, he did a 27.9 and a 28.4 just in the last two laps. Those are still right up there with what his fastest times were. So although the tire is wearing, it doesn't seem to be affecting his lap times. You might as well stay out there. But I have a feeling when it does start to affect it, those times are going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily the time will fall off a cliff because they're going to touch the grass and spin out, and it's just going to be a disaster. I don't think it's going to be a gradual slowdown. It's going to be everything's fine, and now I'm off the track. D. Rodriguez looking good on those mediums. Vetterdan staying out for another lap in P1. Incredible.
But D. Rodriguez, look at those lap times. He's got 5 laps in a row down in the 27s. So he's catching up to Vetterdan, even without Vetterdan getting into the pits yet. Those fresh sport mediums, quite a bit faster than these worn ones.
Fernando B going into the pits has had enough on those tires. Let's see if D. Rodriguez can leapfrog him here. It is a short pit, like we've mentioned.
We saw Fernando, looks like his tire wear is slightly better than what Vetterdan's was, but he was not comfortable with what he was feeling in that car. Decided it was time for a fresh set of tires.
D. Rodriguez does leapfrog Fernando B. So now Fernando B in P3 with D. Rodriguez in sight. So he can hope for a little tire wear, but I think Rodriguez going those extra laps is going to be just fine on tire wear come the end of this race, Sal.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw Fernando had, what, something like a 25, 26-second lead. Fernando's now 5 seconds behind, so it looks to be about a 30-second pit stop, or 30 seconds that you make up. Vetter Dan being ahead by over 43 seconds might still be able to come out of this ahead.
He goes into the pits, and Bandit taking. Oh no! What?
Something
What?
happened with Bandit, but Vetter Dan
Bandit.
going around another lap. Oh, he got into the barrier, and then it spun him out as well.
Why didn't? I guess Vetter Dan's taking it all the way to the end of fuel, to pit. That is insane. But
Question is, has Vetter Dan done a Joker lap? I don't know that he has.
I don't recall.
If he hasn't, he probably has to take it on this lap. Because if he pits now, he can't take it on an out lap or the final lap, which is what
Or
the
the
last two
final
laps
lap.
will be.
Okay, and Bandit definitely gonna want to unlap himself, but he does have a 1.5 second penalty, so I don't think he pushes it too hard. But it's going to be on much fresher rubber than Vetter Dan, so it's going to be frustrating to be stuck behind him like this. This Bandit is on the sport soft tires, but is going to serve his penalty, give a little bit of a bump draft to Vetter Dan. And here we go. Let's find out what is Vetter Dan going to do on this lap. He's only 0.6 seconds off his best lap, so
Yeah, unless
clearly
he took
not
his
hurting
Joker
too
lap.
bad.
Well,
I see
unless
a
he took
turn
his Joker
signal
lap
for the
earlier
pit.
in the race and we missed it.
Yeah,
Has
it
to
must
be
have
it.
been.
Because he's going to the pits now. 2 laps left to go. But if he hasn't, he's put himself in a bad spot because he can't. It is not legal to take the Joker lap on your out lap or on the final lap, which are what these last 2 laps are going to be for him.
As we watch D. Rodriguez, how much of the gap can he close down here? He's got quite a bit. He's got about half the lap to go. And Vetter Dan already out of the pits. Oh my goodness. That didn't hurt Vetter
must not
Dan
have
one
taken-
bit.
He only took a little bit of fuel.
Yep.
D. Rodriguez with more fuel may have overfueled when he came in.
Yeah, and I see an oops from the Dan Mage in
Uh-oh.
chat. I think he realized he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
All right, that may unfortunately be a disqualification if that's what happened, which would make D. Rodriguez our winner. Of course, this race is not over yet.
Nope, we are on
Bandit
laps
once again with the fastest lap, running on those sport soft tires, but back in P6. It appears we lost a driver. I did not see who we lost.
Yeah, we did, and now I'm having trouble. Oh, K-Dub. We lost K-Dub.
We lost K-Dub. Vetter Dan, we're going to see if at least for posterity he takes the Joker here, although it is illegal to do so and would not count. It would at least figure out where his pace would have been. Yep, he does have his turn signal on. Gets through it smooth this time. So moral victory for Vetter Dan. Not doing the Austin Powers in that one, but now we'll run the final lap in shame. T. Rodriguez closed in to within 12 seconds.
Pretty impressive driving from D. Rodriguez.
I will say that when we originally made the rule on not being able to take the Joker on your out lap, it was because we started at Daytona, where your out lap is going to be significantly slower than others. And the intention was to make it so you took your Joker lap on a full-on hot lap. But here, that's not really the case. Whether you take it on your out lap or not really makes no difference. But the rules are the rules.
But rules are rules.
Yep.
And Fernando B again in a heated battle with Ecstasy. These two just nose to tail all race. I bet they are having the best time I'm having the time of my life. And I've never felt this way before. That's what's playing in their heads right now as they go around Goodwood. As Vetterdan's going to end this race with a victory, but once the stewards look at what he did, that is going to be a disqualification. So D. Rodriguez in P2 is going to inherit P1, almost out of fuel there, coming across the line, and that is going to be a race victory for D. Rodriguez. Fernando B able to hold off Ecstasy.
Oh,
Ecstasy
with the
getting a
run.
better exit. Drag race down the line, and it's a long run. Oh, Fernando gets the podium snatched away again.
Oh,
Fernando, what a race.
finish.
Ecstasy up onto the podium. Nicely done.
Ecstasy fought all race to try to get that spot and finally got it out of that last turn. Threw caution to the wind and hoped not to hit that inside wall and made it work. Ends up taking the podium away from Fernando Button. Good job, Ecstasy, being patient on that one.
Well done. And again, with the fastest lap, RTS Bandit on the Racing Softs.
Well, there we go. The game giving the victory to Vetterdan, but the stewards, we're guessing, is going to hand that over. All we got in chat was an oops from Vetterdan. So I don't necessarily know that he didn't do the Joker. We are assuming that he did not do the Joker. If he wishes to proclaim his or explain his oops to see if our suspicions are correct.
Yeah, well, and we saw him take the Joker on his outlap, so he wouldn't have taken it twice.
True.
Had he not. So I think that's a slam dunk for the stewards.
Yep. And he did just say, I thought I could Joker the last lap, which he is not able to. That has been a rule from the get-go, so a lesson to all you kids out there, read the rules.
Read the rules. Don't
but
just
here we go.
don't
We'll go
just
through the
skim 'em.
results. So unfortunately, Vetterdan is going to be a disqualification in this one, handing the victory to D. Rodriguez with a great strategy, starting on the hards and running those mediums, all the way to the end, takes a victory out of this one. PHE Ecstasy finishing then in P2. Fernando Button, who we thought lost a podium spot there at the final moments, does end up finishing off in P3 thanks to that disqualification. PHE Geezer Gears finishing in P4, RTS Bandit P5, and PHE K-Dub, unfortunately, with a DNF.
Woo, howdy.
Man, that race got more exciting. Fernando and Ecstasy could not get away from each other to save their life. They had a good battle in the beginning. Ecstasy unfortunately had hit the wall, which gave Fernando a bit of a gap, but then they brought it back together right there at the end for a nice, exciting finish. Who do you got for your driver of the race in this one, T-Case?
I'm going to give it to Ecstasy. I enjoyed that epic battle there at the end and getting it done with the drag race across the line for P2.
Solid choice. I am going to go with, I always go with the easy one. I'm going to go with D. Rodriguez. Good strategy call, was able to get the win, hang in there. I think Vetterdan could have won this race had he followed the rules. But we see this in real life all the time, right? Someone who has a great race, and then you find out in post-race inspection something's off. That wasn't anything that they necessarily did. It's just is what it is. So
it is what it is. A drive-through penalty can hurt you, all that stuff.
Absolutely. So we got the poll up in the chat. Vote for who you would like to see as the driver of the race. We got D. Rodriguez, who finished in P1, Ecstasy in P2. Also mentioned that Ecstasy did not participate in Split 1. So this was his first race of the night. So was lacking a little bit of that experience that some of the other drivers had, and still pulled out a P2. So good job, Ecstasy.
Indeed.
Not that I want to talk people into voting for not the driver I picked, but It is what it is.
But it's a good choice.
It's still a good choice. All right. So with that being said, we're going to take another quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for one more split, assuming we have enough drivers to run one. If you guys are out there and wish to participate in this, if you go out to the website, PapasHouseOfGame.com, and go find the Joker Series section, you can read up on how all the rules work, and then pop on in. We'd love to have you. If you're just out there watching as a fan, please remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And yeah, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
One twist, one trick, one tap that breaks the map. The fool with the crown takes the Joker lap. Let it roll, let it riot. We don't run with the rules, we redraw the lines. Paint my wheels in chaos, cut time with knives. Split second grin with the sideways slide. Jester in the mirror, madness in my drive. Tire scream, I hear him laughing. Mid-race flip, I'm stunning in action. All eyes watch as I roll and snap. They cut the track, I take the Joker lap. Joke's on you. Joke's on you. Round and round. No path is true. Let the jester lead, let the chaos bleed. Cut across the edge where madness fades. Let Joker, let my break the map. Wild card racer in a technicolor trap. Spin that grin, let the rubber burn black. Who needs rules when the tricks bring back? Roll the die, shift the track. I'm back. Shortcut mind in a midnight mask. Flick up the wrist, twist of the cap. I win dirty, call it Joker lap. Chrome bells hang from the rear view mirror. Every move I make cuts close to fear. Neutral code, chaotic in soul. I bend each checkpoint into a black hole. No good, no evil, just a thrill. Clown crown bound by my own free will. No script, no fate, no final map. Just smoke and mirrors in the Joker lab. Dream like I saw him once on a midnight bend. A grin like fire, a curve with no end. Did he win? Did he fall? Did the race collapse? No one knows. Past the Joker lap.
right, there we go. Wrapped up split 2. After a quick break, we will be getting split 3 underway. Again, for those of you out there, I mentioned this before we went to break, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out an awful lot. We like doing these Joker Series races about once a month, and we will continue to do so as long as people still want to come out and run them and watch it. So thanks for that. With that being said, let's do one more thank you to our sponsor before we get this final race underway. Our sponsor is 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And if you put in an order, please use code Salamander10X and you will get 10% off of your order. And let's
Awesome.
close out the driver of the day or driver of the race poll. Looks like Ecstasy took
Well
that one.
done.
It was a close vote there, but Ecstasy with the driver of the race, well deserved in that one. Ecstasy did a great job. But awesome. All right.
Indeed.
So for the last race, in case anybody just joined us, let's go through the round info one more time. I'll run us
Here
through it
we
this time.
go for it.
We have got 18 laps here at Goodwood. There is one Joker lap required. You can see from that graphic at the top, one car taking the Joker on the left and the one car taking the normal chicane on the right. The tire wear here is 12X, with the tire requirements being sports hard and sport mediums. We've seen drivers go somewhere around 12 to 14 to even 16 laps on those sport mediums before having to switch over to the hards. And we've seen other drivers even try to get the sport softs. Sport softs are allowed, but are not required in the race. They are allowed so people can use them in qualifying. Fuel burn is set to 5X. I think we've seen tonight most drivers having to take at least a splash for the end. The refuel rate is 3 liters per second, so a bit slow. So a little bit of fuel saving can go a long way. And the damage is set to light. So if you do have an incident, it will heal over the time, isn't going to completely ruin your race. You have
No.
2 cars to choose from, the Toyota 86 GT from 2015 and the Subaru BRZ-S, also from 2018. These are virtual carbon copies of each other. So this should be a pretty close and tight race. Right, so there we go. That is what we were doing. Let's see if I can talk to the drivers. Looks like we do have 7 drivers again. We had a couple drivers bow out and some other drivers jump in for the final stint of the night. So let's make sure everybody's up to speed and then we'll get this underway.
Indeed, indeed. Good to see Cole Trickle, aka SPC, and PhD's Jack Skellington also joining the ranks. And then returning drivers of SSC, Bandit, K-Dub, D. Rodriguez, and Fernando Button. Awesome to have these drivers here. Thank you all for showing up and showing out. Sal puts in a lot of work. I do my lobbies on Tuesdays, and I put in this much work. Sal puts a lot of thought and effort into this, and it is incredible to see. There's a reason I don't do organized race events, because I don't have the patience to do all of what Sal's doing. So please, y'all, hit that like button, subscribe. It's really cool what he's doing here. He's giving us something different, something fun, something exciting, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
It has been a lot of fun. I've kind of let the cat out of the bag that there's only so many tracks in the game that allow us to run Joker laps, and there is one track left. And so the one we're going to announce at the end of the broadcast here, that's the last track in the lineup that has Joker lap options. So we will be doing that next month, and then we'll start over and we'll start running through them again. So I'm going to end up in Discord, reaching out to the community, asking for people to vote on how we're going to do this second run through all the laps, or through all the tracks. So stay tuned for that. Would like to get your guys' opinions for sure. But we got qualifying underway here. Let's get out onto the track.
I'm just now realizing that the livery that Geezer Gears made, that D. Rodriguez is running, has the salamander legs in that splash.
Oh, yes.
Like that orange splash is a salamander. So, I mean, put in, serious effort. And then, of course, the turtle shell with the Joker hat on. Very cool. Big shout out to Geezer Gears, aka Turtle Shell. And then, of course, thank you to D. Rodriguez for repping it. This is a Salamander original, isn't it?
It is. This is one I put on. It looks like Ecstasy just grabbed it verbatim and threw it on a car. I've been using the same motif as the examples whenever I make a combo. So nice to see people utilizing it. Fernando. Subaru again. Jack Skellington taking a car directly from the sales floor to the track.
Oh, no, I see he slapped a sticker on the butt.
Oh, there is. You're right.
It's looks like a veteran wounded warrior type of decal there.
Custom license plate. So he must have had those in the glove box of his old car.
Yep.
Dropped it on.
Just slap them on.
K-Dub throws the Joker Series logo on the back.
And very nice.
We've seen Bandits. Bandits is well done. Been repping it all
Bandit
night long.
Participating in NRL. He shows up for my lobbies on Tuesdays. You know, he enjoys some good lobby racing, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Seen him around and raced against him in a number of different leagues. NRL, Moose Wars. We've seen him involved in, I think he's run the PHG World Series.
Yep.
And then, yeah, like you mentioned, he showed up to TK's Tuesdays and that kind of stuff. So, very involved in the community.
Indeed.
You know, D. Rodriguez here, I've been seeing him following Papa around while he's been doing his live streams. We were able to get some special stage Route X in this week.
What a great race.
Those are so much fun.
I love
cup of tea.
It is what is fun about Gran Turismo. That like, and this is what you've done too. You've taken something and you're like, hey, let's show how fun Gran Turismo can be. You've done that with the Joker series. I think that's what Special Route X and those tuned cars with nitrous is. Is it ridiculous? Yes. Does it take skill? Not really. But it's fun. It's fun.
You do have to know how to drive it. I mean, there is a reason that you pretty consistently see the same people finishing in the top 4 or the top 5, because they understand how to do that, like Daytona style drafting race.
Yeah.
Which I also enjoy.
I had a great last to first. Papa was streaming. I ended up, me, D. Rodriguez, and Josh Moment were in a different lobby than Papa was, and I did a last to first, and it was pretty epic.
Nice. D.
Rodriguez going purple.
26-2 and has gone a half second purple, so looking to try to get deep into the 25s. RTS Bandit also with a 26-3. Which I think has been right on par with what he's been putting in before.
Yeah.
I think D. Rodriguez might have just clipped that inside wall. See if that
25, no. I thought he was going to get into the 25s. Not quite. So Bandit, I guess, is happy. He knows what he's capable of and has probably felt like he's run enough laps around here for this evening.
Puts in a solid time with a 26-1.
See what Fernando B can do.
Fernando has the 26-3. He had just crossed the line.
Oh,
K-Dub with almost a
improved.
2-second improvement down into the 28s. Jack getting just kind of feeling it out down to a 131.4. Cole did not have the best opening lap, but we will see what he does on the second lap here. It is looking much better. At 118 going through the chicane. Big drift. Oh, but then loses it.
360, 720,
almost a 720.
540.
Gonna back over the line. Still looking to try
Style
to get
points.
an improvement. No,
Come
I'm not
on.
sure he's gonna get an improvement.
Well, you tried to be cool, Cole. Kind of lost it there at the end.
Still 2 seconds better.
But he is just now showing up, so
Right.
shout out to Cole Trickle. Oh, that hurts. My hip hurts from that. I felt it. I think my chair moved over several feet to the right.
Well, I think Ecstasy might have just tapped the wall as well coming out of that final corner. If Fernando has any kind of an improvement here, he does. 27.5, that still leaves him in 4th place, though.
But he is so competitive in the race. Fernando has been tonight. You can tell this is one of his favorite tracks.
K-Dub just edges out Fernando barely. Jack with a big improvement.
Good job, Jack. Just also showing up for the first time.
Yep, just feeling his way out on this track. This is a tough one if you haven't practiced it.
Yeah,
like you can get around the track nice and it's not a hard track to run. You can get around smoothly, but to get good speed and a good time requires some practice. So, all right, so our results, we've got D. Rodriguez with a 126 flat, followed closely behind by PhD's Ecstasy with a 126.1. RTS Bandit, who really only got one hot lap in with a 126.3. PhD's K-Dub with a 127.5. Just ahead of Fernando Button with a 120, also with a 127.580. Jack Skellington coming in for the first time with a 129.6, and Cole Trickle also for the first time tonight with a 140.639.
Sheesh. And that's that.
There we go. All right, let's get these guys all readied up here and get this one underway. So, I mean, TK, do you want to quickly reflect on the first 2 races we've had and what we've seen so far?
Well, what we've seen is P1 running away with it. And then the battle for the podium has been at minimum a 3-way battle, if not 4-way battle. We saw in the last race, our P1 who did run away with it get disqualified, which led everybody to move up. So I think the battle is on. We got 2 newcomers here with Cole Trickle and Jack Skellington. They are starting in the back. So clearly not getting the practice, but this is anyone's game. I mean, D. Rodriguez, we know what he's capable of, but Ecstasy pulled off something. I think RTS Bandit needs to abandon the 2 stop. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just running those mediums quite a bit longer and then just switching to the hards, I think is going to be better for his overall race time. May just be sandbagging and trying things out, but we'll see what he does in this race. He's certainly proven he's gotten the pace, and he's qualified here back up in P3 again. So certainly could try to finish on a podium this time if they can just get the strategy down. But yeah, 2 newcomers. Ecstasy in this one has only got 1 race of practice, but the other 4 drivers have all had 4 races of practice, or 2 races of practice so far. And we'll round it out on this one. So let's go.
This will be the best start for K-Dub as well. So should be interesting to see. They've had unfortunate races so far, but as we come onto the grid, Bandit, abandon the 2-stop, make it a 1-stopper. D. Rodriguez has consistently started on the hards. Let's see if he does the same thing here as we go on track. And he is on the medium, so he has abandoned his hard starts. Going for the medium tire. The lights are on.
He's fallen back from starting on those hards, so let's see if he can pull away. Oh, Ecstasy jumped the gun. I think he had to get. Ecstasy had such a good start these last 2 times, but ended up having to kind of lay back a little bit, but still holds on to P2.
RTS Bandit and K-Dub both on the mediums. Fernando B further back, making a move there on the mediums. I'm sorry, Bandit and K-Dub's on the hards. on the sport hards. Fernando on the mediums, making moves there, getting ahead of both those drivers and allowing the drivers up front to really just have a nice, easy start. Looks like Cole Trickle on the hards and Jack Skellington on the hards as well. So 3 medium runners up front and then hard runners in the back. As you see Bandit now maintaining the drive, but look at Estes applying pressure to D. Rodriguez there, trying to get up the inside. He's alongside him, looking like he's going to get a better exit here. And D. Rodriguez on the inside. We saw this in the last race. Now Estes is going to be on the inside. I think he should be able to get this move done. We'll see how it goes here. Late on the brakes, getting it slowed down. Right-hander, double right-hander, clips that apex beautifully. Fernando BMP3, and we see further in the background drivers going off track. That was RTS Bandit as Estes manages to hang on to the lead. So P6 with RTS Bandit and Jack Skellington, a bit of drama in the back.
Let's see if we can catch a replay of what happened back there. RTS Bandit a little off the pace behind everybody, running on those hard tires. Not quite able to get it slowed down for that final couple corners. Jack and Cole also having a hard time figuring out that final corner, but it looks like Bandit was able to get gifted one position back when Jack went wide, coming out of the final chicane.
That was a tough one there in the background. Estes still maintaining this lead. Now starting to pull away from D. Rodriguez. Estes finding his groove here.
It's nice seeing Estes. He had battled so much in that last race with Fernando and just wasn't quite able to make that pass work, but able to get it done on the first lap this time around. We're going to see if he can pull out a win.
Oh, and a spin from
goes around
Bandit.
Again.
P7, let's see that again.
See what happened here. Oh, again, just having a hard time with those hard tires. Not able to quite judge the grip level. Not sure if it's just that the tires hadn't heated up.
Well, we are approaching, 2 hours, or now on the 3rd hour of racing. Some drivers get fatigued running the same track. I'm not one who can just run lap after lap after lap. So I feel what RTS Bandit's going through right now.
Here we go. We check back up at the lead. Fernando hanging on with the top 2 drivers here. Estes having made that early pass to go into the lead. D. Rodriguez less than a second behind. Fernando about 2 seconds off of them, but not losing too much time.
Indeed, and D. Rodriguez, yeah. I see the proprietor as well as C-Dubs has joined the chat. C-Dubs asking what did he miss? Well, Florinota won the first race. Vetterdan technically won the first race, but was disqualified, giving D. Rodriguez the win. And now Estes, who drag raced to the line with Fernando Button for ultimately P2, is now leading this race. So there's a quick little recap there as we see Cole Trickle and Jack Skellington battle it out for P5.
As we watch these guys get through that final chicane, get into the start-finish line. Haven't seen anybody take the Joker quite yet in this particular race. We are only on lap 3. Plenty of time to get that done. But yeah, Jack and Cole, they're fresh in on this race. They hadn't run it before. Cole, I don't know if he meant to take the Joker or if he just went into the grass and decided to take it. I think Bandit did take it on purpose. Not get the timestamp in early enough to catch a replay of that, unfortunately. But Cole just taking the opportunity to get it out of the way.
Nicely done. Sometimes you just got to get it out the way. Sometimes that's just what you need to do there.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
But D. Rodriguez not letting Estes breathe for 1 minute. Estes and Fernando just have had hectic races. Fernando, though, finally getting some breathing room there in no man's land. K-Dub plenty far behind, not to bother or one bit. So Fernando can hold on. This could be 2 podiums in a row. Should have been 3 podiums, but he ended up losing out in race 1, making a slight mistake there. But Fernando being consistent. D. Rodriguez now applying more pressure up ahead to Estes. The breathing room has gone as the fastest lap is taken by D. Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's really starting to close that gap down. It was closer to a second. He's now got it down to half a second. I don't think that the slipstream really gives you much at a track like this or with these cars, but it does give you a little. And over time, you know, could help him get caught up. But we know D. Rodriguez is fast, and he's 3/10 up on the fastest lap again, and continuing to close in on Estes. You can hear the Jaws music in the background.
There is a bit of a battle brewing. Actually, just happened. P5. If we can get a quick replay of Bandit getting ahead of Cole Trickle and Jack Skellington there to play. So we ride on board with Bandit, who gets a better exit out of the chicane, coming into turn 1, just able to send it up the inside. Cole Trickle sees him there, moves out of the way. I can't believe they didn't touch right there, and that allows Bandit up ahead of Cole Trickle.
That was the slightest of margins, was able to slot his car right in front of Cole there with like no room for error, but made it work. Able to get those front tires to start biting and able to pull off a great pass there.
Yeah, very nicely done. Very nicely done. SSC still maintaining that lead. We're on lap 6 of 18, so plenty of time remaining. Only seen 1 or 2 Joker laps so far. No pit stops have been taken, but we should be getting into that realm of the hard tire runners thinking about diving into the pits.
Yep, and once again, we have just 2 hard tire runners, which seems to have been the formula for each race. There's always two drivers that take the hard tire to start with, and the rest all start on the mediums. 6 and 12 seems to be the popular split, but we have seen some more extreme examples of that.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And we know Bandit has enjoyed the 2-stop, but we know it's not ideal. But he is the front runner on the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. K-Dub is the front runner on the hards. So it'll be up to K-Dub, who's having the best results so far. He's been in the back every race. And here in the final race, he's up into P4. And that's a half-second penalty for Estes as D. Rodriguez applies the pressure.
If we can catch where that happened, or if it happened early enough. Here we are going into the last couple of corners. Doesn't have it yet. Oh, I think he might have cut that corner there. Yep, there it is. Just cut the corner a little too tight before getting into the chicane. That half second may allow... Now, I know you don't lose a lot of time in these cars at this track. We'll see if that half second's actually going to allow D. Rodriguez to get the pass done or not.
Right. There's not much of a power difference there, so it makes perfect sense. Estes, it might put them side by side into not a good place to be going side by side, as we see the slowdown meter filling up as that yellow gets all the way across the screen there. He will have to, well, he'll keep his foot pin, but the game will remove the gas pedal, and that'll allow D. Rodriguez. Here he goes, approaching that penalty line, penalty in place. And I don't think he's going to catch him. He's not going to. Yep. That's going to allow Estes to maintain the lead there, and he's going to be carrying less speed into this corner. It's going to make it a little bit easier to control.
Definitely. I mean, D. Rodriguez did close the gap a little bit, but it's certainly not as detrimental as we've seen on other tracks, but stays connected to him as they get through that chicane. Only 3/10 separating them as they head into turn 1 and turn 2. While we were watching all that, I thought I saw something happening in the back. I want to see if we got replay of what was going on with Jack here. As he came through the chicane, or actually, no, it wasn't Jack. It was, who's parked? Cole.
Cole Trickle.
Cole was parked off in the grass. Not quite sure what happened with him. Let's go back again and see if... Nope, he's already parked there. So we missed it, whatever it was.
Welcome, Cole Trickle.
Hopefully Cole...
So the
can
battle
fight
for
his
the
way
lead
back.
is still on. Yeah, Ecstasy maintaining that about half a second gap between G. Rodriguez.
Yeah, it seems to be just yo-yoing between like 3/10 and 5/10. D. Rodriguez not quite able to close in and get that pass done. D. Rodriguez currently with the fastest lap, so has the pace. Hasn't quite been able to get around Ecstasy. May have to use either the Joker or a pit stop as the strategy to get that done. Because that's one of the things you could do. If you're mired behind somebody, you could decide to get your Joker lap out of the way and then have some clean air, run some fast laps, and use it as an undercut.
Indeed, indeed. Fernando B holding down P3, no issues there. 11-second gap, and he's got 19 seconds ahead of K-Dub in P4. Also having a nice quiet race, so things have spread out. The real battle is between Ecstasy and D. Rodriguez up front. But we'll see once pit stops and Joker laps. As I see a turn signal from Bandit, he may be getting off the hard tires here. Yeah, that looks like it. He's going to slap on the mediums and hopefully take it to the end of this race.
Yeah, so having a nice quiet race in the beginning. He did have a spin, which put him back a bit, but now being into the... I think we saw Cole
Trickle once again.
Cole having a difficult time. Looked like he was going to try to go into the pits there and just spun it coming out of the chicane. Yep, off into the grass. That's the second time we've seen him lose it coming out of the chicane there. Unfortunate for Cole. Again, this goes to show what, jumping in without the practice. This is a tough one to figure out. But like I was saying with Bandit, other than that spin, he's had a quiet race in the back, running on the hard tires, so certainly not going to have the pace on the hards. Now that he's been able to get into the pits, has a clean track, and running on the racing mediums, we'll see just how much of that gap he can close in on in the second half of this race.
SSC and D. Rodriguez trying to get around Cole Trickle there. Cole doing a good job getting out of the way. Lap 10 of 18. Drivers on the medium tires starting to show some tire wear. But, I mean, Vetterdan showed us you can take these mediums quite a long way, all the way to lap 16. So we'll see what these drivers do. I imagine SSC and D. Rodriguez are putting quite a bit of wear on their tires, battling it out.
They haven't had a lot of side-by-side. They've
True.
certainly been doing a bit of follow the leader. That very first lap, they had some side-by-side, but just following another driver doesn't necessarily add a bunch of tire wear. As we see a turn signal come on from SSC, looks like SSC going to get that Joker lap out of the way.
Let's see if D. Rodriguez follows suit. It would almost make sense. Or does he want to get some clean air? No, D. Rodriguez stays out. SSC, get it around. There you go. Well done. And that's going to allow Cole Trickle to unlap himself from SSC, but still going to be a lap down on D. Rodriguez. Could cause some issues for SSC there.
Yeah, I was just mentioning earlier that I thought maybe D. Rodriguez would get that Joker lap out of the way in order to get some clean air, but SSC doing it has allowed D. Rodriguez to just put in some fast laps, not have to worry about, positioning his car compared to the car in front of you. We'll see how this works out. Was Ecstasy on the pole? I think Ecstasy was on the pole to start this, wasn't he? Or no, D. Rodriguez was on the pole.
D. Rodriguez was, yeah. Ecstasy had looked like he jumped the start, but managed to keep it going.
So D. Rodriguez certainly has had the pace. I mean, starting on the pole means he's got the fastest pace, at least in qualifying. Going to try to stretch out this lead, so when he does have the opportunity to take his Joker lap, that is able to stay ahead. I think we've seen right around 5 seconds is how much time you lose taking the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right at that 4.6 seconds ahead.
There's Jack Skellington into the pits.
Yep, coming in at the end of lap 10. 10 laps on the hards.
Should have plenty of medium grip left to allow RTS Bandit. Mm-hmm.
Jinx, have a go.
It's almost like we watch a lot of racing and do commentating. It's like we know exactly what to say and when to say it.
Well, it was fun when we met up with Q at Road America. Because for those that don't know, me and T-Case went to Road America together, and then Q came out one afternoon and met us there. And we had noticed throughout the weekend, me and T-Case would start making comments on things, and then over the loudspeaker, we would hear the commentator make the same comment just a couple seconds later. And Q noticed it as well and was laughing at us that we were making the same sort of comments.
Sitting here calling the race, and then all of a sudden it comes over the loudspeaker, almost word for word what we'd say. So Ecstasy back up in the lead.
Story, did I miss something?
Yeah. No, yeah. I believe we had a Joker lap done by D. Rodriguez, which has allowed Ecstasy back up into the lead.
Yes.
So they're back where they started. Yeah, like Jinx.
Need to pay more attention to the screen. Okay. Whoa! And D. Rodriguez goes around the slowest of spins, going into that final set of corners. Let's see how that unfolded. You saw it kind of unfold in slow motion here. He gets a tire out onto the grass and just slide forever. Oh, that's
my goodness. Unfortunate. Ecstasy in the pits, D. Rodriguez in the pits, but now with quite a few seconds behind, that's going to promote Fernando into the lead. New race leader, Fernando B., who's had a great day of racing here. Let's be honest. Fernando has shown up and put on quite a show here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Absolutely. It really shows that this is one of his favorite tracks. We know that. He's been up contending for podium position all evening, afternoon. We're used to running this in the evening.
Depends on where you are.
True.
And he did manage that podium in the last race, even though he got pipped by Ecstasy in the drag race because of the Vetterdan disqualification. Allowed him up into the podium position.
D. Rodriguez fell quite a bit behind Ecstasy. Not sure if he...
That was with that big spin, and then into the pits, and that allowed K-Dub through.
That's right. How quickly I forget.
Right? It's easy to forget. People are like, how do you not remember? It's like, you don't understand. We're focused on the now.
This is why we don't generally have the camera operator also doing commentary, because something will happen and I quickly forget about it because I'm busy manipulating all the other buttons and bits.
Indeed, buttons and bits always getting in the way. K-Dub P3 on the hards is going to need to pit. Yes, into the pits he goes. Switch over to the mediums and get some fuel. We are about to start lap 14 of 18. That's D. Rodriguez back up into the podiums. Fernando B. still not having pitted yet. We'll see if he can maintain a podium position. I think he will at least get P3, but there's a chance for P2 here for Fernando.
Yeah, he's been running some solid 29s here the last 3 laps, which is not bad for a car that has such tire wear. You know, we see Ecstasy ran a 130 in the last one, and we can see the lap times back when he was on the mediums was running more like 28s and 27s. So I would imagine they are probably catching up and will likely take over the lead position when Fernando does decide to go in. Rodriguez, God, a model of consistency there. We see from lap 5 all the way to lap 10. 26.9 for his fastest lap, and then lap after lap of 127s. Shows why he's been near the podium all night as well. Fernando still refusing to pit his car. Does have the fuel light flickering, and that front left tire has certainly seen better days. I would imagine he has got to come in at the end of this lap, but enjoying his time in the lead for now. SSC, having come in on the last race, has really showed us some speed very quickly.
SSC's got skills. He joins my lobbies on Tuesday, so these cars on sport tires. As D Rodriguez, oh no, goes off the track, gets damage, and a 1.5 second penalty. What happened, Sal?
Well, it looked like that infamous turn 1, I think, just got the left tires into the grass again. A little bit of understeer on corner exit, but had so much speed, couldn't keep it out of the tire barrier. This could allow Fernando up into a P2 after everything shakes out. Having lost the time there and the 1.5-second penalty, we'll see exactly what happens. D Rodriguez is 25 seconds back from Fernando. I think we've seen that a pit stop lasts right around 30 seconds. Now that he's serving his pen, could be a battle for P2 once we get to the end here. There we go. Fernando coming in, showing some mercy to the fuel gauge and the
fuel
front
gauge
tire.
and that front left is well worn. There's SSC back into the lead. He's got Cole Trickle just ahead of him. Where's D Rodriguez gonna come out? D Rodriguez about to cross the line. Fernando coming out of the pits. There's Fernando up into P2. Can he hold off D Rodriguez? Fernando on cold tires. D Rodriguez on warmed up hards. And it's gonna be a sprint to the end here. We're on lap 16 of 18.
Only 1 second separates the two. That last little oops from D Rodriguez is certainly going to make it. So trying to finish in P2, he's going to have a fight on his hands for these last 3 laps here. He's got to see if he can run him down. It looks like he has closed it to under a second. Oh, but now it yo-yos back up above a second. We'll have to follow this one.
Holding on to it, Fernando B just needs to keep it clean. 1.3 seconds. D Rodriguez has made some mistakes this race, uncharacteristic, and Fernando's been kind of picture perfect.
I think at the very first race he had an incident or two, and I think he learned from it right away. And yes, has really, as we say at Commentators Curse, goes off into the grass. But keeps
Gets
it
back on. Oh, slow it down. His tires are dirty. D Rodriguez is right there. Oh, wow. Well done to Fernando for holding on to that. As we start lap 17 of 18. Oh, my goodness.
Tires, I'm not sure if they've cleaned themselves off going through these first couple of corners. He takes it really wide. Rodriguez with quite the run.
There he goes.
Going to get the pass done by the time they get to the end here. They just got to give each other space as they go through this kink and then make it to this next couple of turns. Rodriguez is now in front. Fernando looking to the inside, just a little peek.
Bandit going into the pit, so I guess the 2-stop is on for RTS Bandit. Fernando trying to get back by.
Just checking
It's going to be
tires
tricky.
look good. It wasn't like they're worn out.
I think he just likes to have the fastest lap.
That could be.
Fernando, battling it out with T. Rodriguez onto the back straight. Still unable to get by.
Couple more corners, and then they're going to have one lap left to try to get this done. Here's where you got to be careful not to push too hard. You got to push, just another 5% more than what you have been to try to get something done you haven't been able to do. But if you go too far, off you go. And Fernando had a bad exit there in that final chicane. That's allowed D. Rodriguez to get quite a ways ahead. D. Rodriguez just needs to settle in and finish off this lap without any mistakes. Should be able to hold on to P2. But Fernando not going to give up.
Never give up, never surrender. Ecstasy dominating with that 14.5 second lead. Looking good on the final lap, about to start the final sector of this race. Very impressive stuff.
He was battling in that last race with Fernando, I believe.
When
had that incident in the final chicane where he hit the inside wall, got a penalty, was able to come back and get back up onto the podium, but showing in this race that he really has the pace to lead. It looks like as long as he doesn't make a major mistake in this final chicane, should be able to pull this off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cole trickle.
Cole for getting the turn. Doing Cole things.
And that's the winner. S to C, S to C. GG's. And D. Rodriguez, P2. Fernando Button, gonna be P3. Another podium for Fernando. Another podium for D. Rodriguez. Very impressive stuff.
Absolutely.
K-Dub. Best finish of the night for K-Dub by a long shot. Very nicely done.
It's the stickers.
It's the stickers.
He put the decals on, and he got faster. Bandit's had an eventful night.
Yes.
He has had fastest lap in both the races. It looked like he was 0.8 purple right now, so is likely to set the fastest lap in this race as well. But the two-stop strat just doesn't seem to work. We need to have, if this race was quite a bit longer, that might be the way to go. But entertaining. Watching
nonetheless.
Absolutely. Jack in his first outing of the night comes across, finishes in P6.
GG's, y'all. GG's. What a fun night.
Absolutely.
Or afternoon. Yeah, this is weird.
Ecstasy with the victory. That's a fancy tracksuit he's got going on there. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to save this replay. Did I save the second replay? I don't know that I did.
Couldn't tell you.
All right, so PHC Ecstasy, congratulations on the win in this third split. D. Rodriguez, second on the podium, and Fernando rounding out the podium in P3 in the BRZ. PHC K-Dub comes across the line in P4, RTS Bandit P5, Jack Skellington in P6, and Cole Trickle in P7.
Well, there we have it.
There we have it. That's the end of our 3 races for the day. I believe that is going to call it. Let's see. We'll do another poll for driver of the race real quick. Who do you want to nominate, T-Case?
I'm going, it has more to do with the entire afternoon, but I'm going with Fernando B. I think he just had a solid day. And I was impressed. He made one tiny little mistake there at the end, and I enjoyed what I saw out of Fernando today.
That is a solid choice. I am going to go with not the winner this time. I'm going to go with D. Rodriguez. Also ran all 3 races tonight, had good finishes in every race. Well done on the evening to Darren there. or putting on a good show. It was fun watching him go around. Absolutely. All right. So with that said, you know what? I don't think we're going to go to break. I think we're going to
Yeah,
go right to what the
let's
next
get it.
round is going to be. We're going to show off what we're going to do in the next race, which is going to happen in September. This is the fun part. We get to surprise people. Okay, so for the next round, the last of the tracks that we have not done Joker series races at is going to be at Willow Springs, the streets of Willow Springs. So earlier, we had done Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile, but this time we've got the streets of Willow Springs, and I'll say this is going to be in the reverse layout. And you can see on the map we've got 2 Joker laps, and I was talking to T-Case about this beforehand. I'm actually going to put this to a vote. Right now, there are 2 Joker laps to do. There are 2 more Joker lap opportunities at this track that are a little more unorthodox. They are actual loopbacks instead of just like little chicanes like these 2. So I'm going to put a vote to the community before we decide exactly how we're going to run this race next month. But it's definitely going to be at the streets of Willow Springs. We've got 4 cars to choose from.
Love those cars.
We've got the Nissan Fairlady Z, Z33 from 2007, the Mitsubishi Lancer 9 GSR from 06, the
Hmm.
relatively new Elantra N from 2023, and the Subaru Impreza WRX STI from 2014. I will say that the Subaru and the Lancer are 4-wheel drive. The
Hmm.
Elantra is front-wheel drive, and
Hmm.
the Nissan Fairlady Z is rear-wheel drive. So a number of different options in my testing, a lot of different driving characteristics amongst these cars. Case, what do you think about this one?
I love it. I think this track is fun in road cars. It is not fun in race cars. It is fun in road cars. I know for a fact how close the Lancer and the Impreza are to each other as far as performance. I do like the addition of the Elantra N. I think it's a heck of a motor carriage, front wheel drive. And then for those tail happy friends, you got the Fairlady Z there in the back. So I think this is going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a fun one to test. And there's certainly a lot like what we just saw at Goodwood. Lots of runoff, but
Yep.
this one being
Sand.
all dirt instead of grass. So again, you need to keep it on the track. There's not as many high-speed corners as what we just had at Goodwood. Goodwood was much more flowy. This one has a lot more tight turns to it. So it's actually a little easier to keep it on track without going and flying off into Narnia. But it's still a fun one to run. So I'm hoping we get a lot of people out for this one. 4 different cars to choose from. Like we said, different driving characteristics. Should be a good time.
It's going to be a good time.
I will say September 10th, we'll be back to Thursday nights for this particular race. So
Awesome.
again, be watching in the Discord for some voting I'm going to put up in the Joker Series channel where you guys are going to be able to vote on exactly how we want to do this one. I'm going to call it, we've got Jokers A, B, C, and D, and which combos of those that we want to do. I'll put some updated graphics out there once I put those together. Um, and yeah, I mean, we could either do all 3 races the same, or we could even make it so that each race is a little different, where we get progressively harder as we go. It's everybody's call. I want everybody to have fun. I know what I would like to do, but I want to know what the drivers want to do or what the viewers want to see. You can also stop by the Discord and put your vote for
Yeah.
how you would like to see this go down. All right. So with that said, we should be able to wrap up our vote here. It looks like we have a runaway winner in Fernando Button is going to win the driver of the race, really probably the driver of the day. I think after the third
Yeah. I think
split, I think we were kind of wrapping the entire day into that voting, and Fernando certainly was mighty consistent, had battles. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Darren also
He probably
was
had the
very
most.
consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, very consistent, put on a lot of stuff, but didn't have to battle with people as much as Fernando did. So Fernando's was hard earned and well deserved. So congrats on that. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for the night. A last couple of things before we head on out. One, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. All of your likes that come through, every subscription matters. It really helps the channel a lot. Helps me keep coming back to do this sort of stuff. So please remember to like and subscribe. Big thank you to 4D Racewear for sponsoring the channel. Definitely go check them out, 4dracewear.com. Use the code Salamander10x to get 10% off your order. Everything they've got on the website, high quality stuff. Definitely go check them out. And then I want to promote some of the other like sister series that we have going on around here. Of course, the VIP League is going on right now. We broadcast that on our Upshift Media Studios channel. So definitely when we're done here, go search for Upshift Media Studios on YouTube and go subscribe to that channel to watch some incredible league racing going on over at
So
the
good.
VIP League. And then NRL, the Naughty Racing League, signups just opened for that today. I don't have memorized the exact start date. I think we're about a month away from NRL kicking off. But NRL is in season 8 now, so a real mainstay. Really kind of the what's it called? The barometer, the one to really,
Mm-hmm.
live up to, has been doing the broadcasting and league racing now for a number of years, and is really one to go watch. The PHG World Series, they're currently in the off season. We'll be starting up a new season there early in 2027. You can find all the information for that at the PapasHouseOfGame.com website, so go check that out. T-Case, my buddy here, does T-Case Tuesdays and NASCAR Thunder Thursdays pretty much every week. So definitely go
Yep.
check him out. I've got his YouTube channel listed under his webcam video there, T-Case 101. Go like and subscribe to his channel as well. He does a lot of road car racing. So a lot of what we do here, he does over there in a even more relaxed fashion. So definitely go check that out.
Way less serious.
A little less serious, a little more fun. And then, of course, Sector 7, they've got the Red Bull Junior Series going on. So you can go find them over on Discord. I don't necessarily have their contact information, but if you search up Sector 7 Racing on YouTube, you can probably get over to where they're at. Sector 7 also runs the Gran Turismo Sprint Championship, which is in conjunction with IRO and the IRO Gran Turismo Endurance Championship, where they run endurance races once a month. It's like a league that lasts pretty much all year. Myself and T-Case are running in the Gran Turismo Sprint Championship. I'm on Team Papa. T-Case, you're on Team Susan, I believe.
Team Susan, yep.
So, and you'll be running next weekend, right?
Yeah,
At Fuji. So
a week from today.
Exactly. So tune into those. And I think there are others out there as well. Those are the ones that I follow and want to make sure that everybody's aware of. So go check them out. With that said, that's going to wrap up our night. So TK, any final words before we sign off?
Just thank you all for watching. Thanks for the likes and the subs. Thank you to the drivers who showed up and raced, putting on a great show for us. And thank you, Sal, for putting this on. What a great way to spend my Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, TKs, for being here and help commentate for this. We certainly can't put on this good show without people like you to help make it entertaining for the folks and all the drivers that came out. It was a really great time. Goodwood did not disappoint. Good fun track. A lot of action out there. So really enjoyed doing it. So really, until next time, everybody take care. We will see you in a month. Again, remember to like and subscribe. You can come back and watch me do some other racing and other broadcasting here as well in the meantime. But until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Later.
to the core.